guys, Sarah Jean here with another Filofax video. I wanted to make this video to just show how my setup has been constantly changing, which I am assuming it's going to forever. But also I've been playing around with different printables and different papers and cutting things and punching things, and a lot of people have questions about that, so I thought I would show what I've come up with and what I've done so far. And then there were a couple of other questions that people had, specifically about the A5 Fluoro Original. One of the questions was from Mariana from the Filofaxy Facebook page, and there's been a lot of debate about how stuffed you can get these binders. And some people are mentioning that they thought the strap was too short and they couldn't stuff it full. I think most of those reviews were on the personal size and not the A5 size. But so I've gone ahead and really stuffed this for Mariana. It's not normally what I keep in here, but just for video purposes. As you can see, it is super stuffed and actually kind of heavy. And it's all like bulging. I don't normally have all this stuff in here, but I wanted to show that you can majorly stuff this thing full. I don't have any problem with the strap at all not reaching. I don't know if it's a difference between the A5 and the personal, or if maybe Filofax made some changes after some initial complaints, but it fits a ton. I literally have, I think, I don't know, 10 letters stuffed in that pocket, and I've got so much paper in the rings that it's already actually going over the center of them. So you can definitely stuff a lot in this binder. Go ahead and take out all those extra papers because I don't normally have all of those in here. What these are is I'm using this not only as a day planner but also as a journal slash smashbook type thing. So I took a lot of my favorite scrapbook papers and smashbook papers and I cut them down to size and I punched them. And a couple people had questions about punching the holes. Basically, I just took one of the original dividers that it came with, I lay it over the top, and I punched right through. I haven't had any problems at all. They line up perfectly. It's kind of a labor of love, but not really. It's totally great. I would love one of those special punches, but I've got a regular hole punch. I don't need to spend the extra money. I could buy more paper instead. So, let me move those. So the beginning is pretty much the same as it was before. I love my zip pocket. I keep all my stamps on it. This is the zip pocket the Filofax came with, and actually now that I'm talking about it, I will mention that this zipper does rub a little bit on the other side. So I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There is a little bit of, sort of just a little bit of a rubbing mark that zipper's created. Doesn't really bother me. I think the more little nicks and things I get in this over the next couple of years, yeah, next couple of years, are just going to give it personality. So, but if anyone was wondering about that, it does leave a little bit of a mark in the leather. This is basically all the same. I have this bicycle paper there just because it's pretty and I like it showing through. And this is one of those clear sheet pockets that I made from a smashbook, which you guys saw in my last video, so I won't go ahead and drone on about that again. I'm trying to get this turned with my personal info. Whew. Okay, there we go. My dividers are still all the same, basically. I've changed them up a little bit, what's going behind them, but they're all the same dividers that I made, which was me tracing the dividers that came with scrapbook paper, cutting them out, and I laminated them, and I added a couple other little things, but that's all the same as the last video. I have already done a bit of journaling in here. My color coding is the same it was before. I did not laminate it because I did it with my friction pins, and the last time I did that, you all know it disappeared. But I still love the friction pins. You'll notice that I carry around, this has all my friction pins in it, and this has my Stabilos. I actually take both with me in my bag when I'm going out and I know I'm going to be writing in here. I like doing my color coding in my diary pages with the frictions because I love being able to erase. And if they do for some reason disappear years from now, if I can't recall when I went to the dentist in 2013, I don't think it's a big deal. But then I do all of my journaling in my Stabilos because they're permanent. So I just carry around both. I like to have lots of colors and lots of choices, so that's what I do. Let's see. So these are my new diary inserts. You will notice that you have not seen anything like them before. This week I spent a lot of time trying to find the diary inserts that worked well for me. This one, because I got it mid-year, it came with the week on 2 pages, horizontal, unlined. And I liked the paper, and I liked that it was sort of that cotton cream color, but I didn't like the horizontal format, and I really didn't like that they were not lined. I hate my penmanship, and so I really like lines because it makes it look a little bit neater. So I did a lot of playing around this week with experimenting. I tried to sort of slowly create my own just on tables on Word, and that didn't really work out that well for me. And then I found a printable through the Filofax site, and I was at work, so I was printing them and ended up having to like slice the paper in half and then attach them back to back, and so I didn't really like that. That didn't work well, and it was going to be lined up like that, so that was going to be strange. Then I discovered I really liked the vertical week on 2 pages that are lined for next year that this came with. And so my next experiment, I took the first week, which was like the last week of December, first week of January, and I scanned them into my computer. I printed them up back to forth, and then I washi taped the top and bottom to cover up the fact that it was the incorrect date, and I hand wrote in my own dates. Well, I sort of liked that for a couple of days, and then I realized I didn't like it. I didn't like it because it was on white printer paper. I didn't like it because I had to sort of like double check the dates, and then my hole punching on these ones ended up a little wonky, so then I had to double punch them, and then they weren't perfectly circular, and that just really bugged me. So my final experiment, which actually turned out really well, was making these. And there's a couple of reasons why I love them. They're vertical. They're lined. I found them on the Filofax website, and they just worked out really well for me. But what I did is I actually, I'm a huge stationery collector because I do a lot of pen paling, and what I did is I took some of my stationery paper that was about A5 size, and I printed them back to back on the stationery paper. And I would do a couple pages in stationery, and then I'd bought in some sort of like ivory colored printer paper and would put that in here every few days. And what I really loved about it is I love decorating in my Filofax, but I'm sure the rest of you can say this too. Sometimes you really feel like getting all your stuff out and decorating and having fun, and then some weeks you're just not in the mood to, or you don't have the time to. So what I loved about this is, you know, some of the pages are already decorated and cute, and so if it's a week where I don't really feel like having the time or doing it, I don't have to. But then when I am in those moods, you know, I've got these ivory colored ones that I can just go bananas with. And so far I really like this. None of the pages are exact. The stationery pages were, I think, exactly A5 size, but then these ivory printer paper ones was just a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I simply just cut exactly in half. So it's going to be slightly different from the dimensions of an actual A5, but it doesn't bother me if this is a little bit smaller than this, or this is a little bit bigger than that. It doesn't bother me at all. And that's how I did that. And June had asked about the paper sizes. So that's what I do. I just cut at 8.5 by 11 in half. That's it. No problems for me. So these are all just the different types of stationery I used. I did have a couple of hiccups, which I will share with you. Occasionally, because this is kind of a labor of love, because I cut the pages down to size, load them up, and then I literally went page by page to print, because, you know, it would come out of my printer like this, I'd flip it over and resend it through so it's still the front and back. So a couple times I did make a mistake. I double printed. That was another double print one, or I like did the same day by accident. So doing this for the last 6 months of the year probably took, I don't know, an hour or so out. I just sat there and done it. So not too long, and I really like the results. The only other bummer is that I had this really cute kawaii stationery sheets that were just about A5 as well that I thought would be really cute in here. But they're really thin paper, and my printer just ate them. And I even went so far as to put 2 of them back to back, and my printer still ate them. So that was a little sad. That was a little bit of a bummer. But it seems the more you play around with this stuff, the better. And so I'm sure These will probably eventually change again. I don't know if I'm going to do this for all of next year because I do have the verticals, but we'll see. I do like how flipping through this, some of it's just already really cool. And like these are for October and they kind of look spooky. And anyways, these are for December. So that's what I did. It worked really, really well for me. And I really like how it turned out. I also made a couple of other things. This is my Etsy divider, and I'm trying to keep track of shop sales and money I spend at Michael's for supplies, so that when taxes come around, I can be a good citizen. So I did make these sheets, and it's just got date, if it was a purchase or a sale, description of what it is, and if it was money in or money out. I just washi taped the top and punched them just to make them a little bit more stable. And this is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of white copy paper, and all I did was fold it under. It works really, really well as a little spreadsheet. I also washed the bottom. I just made this in Word. I just imported a table, chose the colors, wrote in the titles, did a silly little graphic there, and that was it. It was super, super easy. The next couple things are the same. I've got my quotes, my to buy list, my I can make this list, the things I want to study list. And next I've got my diet tab. And I made the same type of table that I did for my Etsy shop. The exact same thing, graphics, just chose different colors, fold out. And it works really, really well. I really, really like it, and it was super easy to make. I actually made these goofing off at work, so it was quick and easy. I've still got my to read and my to watch lists. My mail log is still the same. I just put this through my typewriter and typed the little top out. So those are all super simple. Nothing's really changed there. I've still got, from Japan Corner, my addresses. Next, which has kind of been the bane of my Filofax existence, sorry, the flyleaf. I love the idea of a flyleaf. I can't seem to use it. A lot of people are using it as like a dashboard where they stick stuff on Post-its on it before they move it into the actual pages when they're on the go, and I haven't found myself really doing that. A lot of people put their Post-it flags and stuff on it. They just fall off. I hate it. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. If anyone has any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I would love to find a use for the flyleaf, and I would love to find a good way to carry around Post-it notes, because this is just not working. They're constantly falling off, and I'm constantly having to try to stick them back on. Same pocket I had before. It's got just a little assortment of stickers and goodies. Mostly what I've realized I'm using the stickers and goodies for is occasionally for like little special occasions, but often I'm using them to just cover up mistakes. So they work really, really well. They're multifunctional. And then this is just, I'm keeping extra paper back here and some extra of the scrapbooky paper stuff. That other flyleaf that I made, which is just sort of a protector for this last page, and then I still have my mail on the go. So I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. If you have any questions, leave comments, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any suggestions, please leave comments, because I love watching everyone else's videos and reading everyone else's blogs and finding new and fun ideas. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Bye.